Greetings. This is Arvette McLean with Speak, The Universe Listens. New ways to view age-old challenges. Change your thoughts, change your life. Step into the bigness of you.
So I had this weekend, I ran into a family member of mine just out and about. I was with my daughter. We were doing some school shopping, right? So just so happened they were getting off from work, and I was just talking to them, and they just so happened to need a ride to work. So I mean, not to work, but home, right? So I was like, all right, cool. So on the way driving home, you know, catching up, and they were just telling me about everything that was going on, and telling me about his relationship, and you know, it's like the long story of things ain't going right, and he was telling me about, you know, what he was doing, what he expected, and what he got back in return, right? So the whole ride I'm listening, and I'm like, I've been there. might not been in a relationship wise, but I understand what he was saying. So, long story short, it just made me really think about like how we set expectations on people or either situations, because we expect a certain outcome, and then when that outcome don't come in the form of what we expected to come, we get disappointed. So to me, just listening to him and what he was saying, my thought process was like, okay, well, you had a certain expectation, you got let down, but you put all your power into the circumstances or either into this person, instead of sitting back and almost like, you know, you can't make somebody else happy if you ain't happy. You see what I'm saying? So it's like he gave his power away, and you ain't even put nothing into yourself. So that's how I was taking that in. But it just made me think of, you know, circumstances in my life. I used to do the exact same thing. I put so much power, or gave situations or people my power, and then, you know, I get disappointed. You know what I'm saying? So it really made me think about expectations.
Yeah. Expectations of others, it instantly makes me think of a romantic relationship. So like, and I feel like with expectations of your partner or whatever in a relationship, I know for me, I used to look at it like, my love costs a certain expectation. Like, if I'm gonna love you, then these are the things I'm expecting with that. Like, I'm expecting you to, you know, like just normal things. Like, I'm expecting you to pay attention when I'm speaking, or you know, like just regular things. But I think a lot of times we put, like, with romantic relationships and expectations, we put like a cost on our love, you know, instead of just saying, okay, like basically instead of unconditional love, we put like a cost on it, like, okay, in order for me to love you, I'm expecting X, Y, and Z, you know what I mean? And so we set ourselves up for disappointment because 9 times out of 10, I'm not every day thinking about what you're expecting from me, or you're not thinking about what I'm expecting from you. And I think a lot of times we run into trouble when we putting expectations on people and like holding them to that.
Yeah, I super agree there. Like, I recently was just working through like a breakup or whatever, and I had to figure out, well, what was it that was upsetting me? And I realized it was only my expectations again. It was like I can't believe you did this. Like, I can't believe this is what you did, or you didn't do this. You know, I had to step back and go, well, one, why am I looking for something to be done instead of like it just being an experience, one. And then two, also, like anything I was looking for was also in me. So I might have been like, well, why aren't you listening? Like, why aren't you giving me enough time or this and that? And like the reality is, I need to like maybe focus on myself and spend a little more time with myself, like loudly and clearly. If my constant issue is I'm not getting enough attention, well, they could pay all the attention to me in the world, and I could still feel unseen. So it's like I need to figure out, like, I need to drop the expectation of them and look deep into myself and go, all right, well, what do you really want? You know, I think that's like the hardest part when it comes to like putting expectations on others. I find myself putting an expectation that I think I desire that I don't even really desire, but now when it's coming to me, it's like stop.
Yeah, and like expectations of others is like, all right, if I expect you to make me happy, you know, and I expect, if that's not happening, then you're not meeting my expectations. Like, that's how we do each other in relationships. Like, if you're not, like, if we're gonna be together, I'm expecting you to make me happy and me to make you happy. You know, and we're not holding ourselves accountable for our happiness a lot of the times. And nobody can make you happy. Like, I can make you smile, I can make you laugh, but I can't make you happy on the inside. That starts with self-love. Yeah. So I think when we're putting expectations on others, we're expecting people to make us happy or do this, do that, you know, and we're putting a price on it, really. Yeah. With the expectations.
And I know for me, I put these expectations out, and then I instantly start judging the person. Like, when one thing isn't met, it's like, you can't, like, this will never work because you just can't even do this simple thing, or this ain't gonna work because, you know, like, you're not gonna do this. And it's like, the reality is, first I need to stop judging everything that's happening. I'm looking at the whole situation like, this is wrong, you shouldn't do this, that's wrong, you shouldn't handle things this way. And I could just see it as what it is. Like, that's what happened. Let me stay in my power and flip it to something that I actually need, or something that I want it to be, instead of just, you know, I can't believe you spoke to me that way. You know, like.
And it's funny you say that, Tamara, because like what you were saying, that's pretty much all I was hearing him say, and my thought process, you know, was like, okay, if you treat somebody a certain way, right? If you treat people with respect, love, kindness, so forth, you're just a good person in general, right? And you do good deeds to people, and yet they don't return the exact same energy towards you. Don't change your energy up because you set an expectation for them to sit back and give you the exact same energy. And sometimes everybody don't see things how you see things. People, not everybody can have the same energy as you know what I'm saying, or see things how you see it. So I was trying to express that to him, not put that off on him, but just sort of give him sort of like something to think about, you know, in that view, because I didn't want him to be like, all right, now you just stop being a good person and just go cold-hearted on everybody. Don't be like that.
So I want to comment on that because I think a lot of us get hung up on, like, I'm a good person. Like, I did this for you, I did this for you, I did this for you, and then I'm not getting back what I'm giving out. Here's the rub. Like, a lot of times when we're giving out those things, it's because we're looking for something on the outside of us to come back. So in essence, we're not giving it from the heart, I guess. Okay. And I'm not sure that's the right word I want to use, because I know we feel like we're getting it from the heart. But what I mean is, I'm feeling deficit. I'm feeling a deficit. Therefore, I go out and do things for you because I want you to make me feel good.
Yep. That's exactly how it goes.
And so I'm giving you these things, I'm doing these things, and then you're not making me feel good. And I'm feeling like I'm not getting back what I'm giving out. But in reality, I am getting back what I'm getting out because I'm I'm working from a deficit. I'm working from I don't feel good, so I'm putting out I don't feel good energy. And even though it may not look like that, that's what it is. You're putting out I don't feel good energy, and so you get back I don't feel good energy. And so no matter how much you give, you keep giving, and you're like, okay, let me give some more. and no matter how much you give, you're not going to get it back, because you're giving it from I don't feel good. I don't feel good enough. I don't feel worthy. I feel like I need to do these things in order to get something from the outside to make me feel good. And so it's what all of you all have said about claiming your power, claiming your own responsibility for yourself. Whatever it is that you feel like you're not getting on the outside, you have to give it to yourself. And a lot of times we use words like, oh, we got to dig deep. It's not really deep.
It's right there for you.
It's on the surface. You know you don't feel good. You know you don't love yourself. You know you don't feel worthy. So start flipping the script. Start, whatever words you want someone else to say to you, start saying it to yourself. You know, if I want to hear you're the most beautifulest thing, look into your own eyes and say, you are the most beautifulest thing. Whatever it is you want to hear, if you want to hear thank you from somebody else, then you say it to yourself. So whatever it is out there that you're wanting somebody to do and they're just not doing it good enough, they're not doing it fast enough, no matter how hard, no matter how much you give, you're not getting it, give it to yourself.
When you say that, that make me think of a saying, I gotta stop expecting me from other people. I gotta stop expecting people to do what I, you know the saying.
I used to say that.
I gotta stop expecting me from other people or whatever. And what you really saying is, I gotta stop expecting people to make me feel good about myself. Or I gotta stop expecting people to make me feel good. Because that's what they're looking for when they're saying, like, they're looking for, okay, I can't expect you. Basically, they're saying, I want you to make me feel good, and you're not doing that. And that's what that saying says to me, but really it's on the inside. And like you said, we're coming from a space of having a deficit or a lack or not feeling the best in this certain spot. And so we're looking on outside for us to get that. And it's like, nah, we got to start within first. You know, and so we're looking at the outside like, yeah, y'all not doing what I want y'all to do, basically. And yeah, we got to start from within. Because it's all about self-love.
Right.
You know, another place that I found myself in the past placing expectations on others. It might not even been like me, like giving and looking for something in return. It was a lack of appreciation and gratitude as well. Like, I would be in situations where I find somebody like does something like constantly, and then like the minute they don't do it, it's like, well, what's happening here? And it's like, well, now you're not giving me the expectations that I had because I've been expecting this the whole time. And what I'm finding now is the only reason I'm receiving it that way is because I wasn't appreciating it when it was happening. Like, I wasn't taking every time that, like, okay, let's say you organize a closet every Saturday, and then like 3 Saturdays come by and you just don't do it. And now I'm upset, like, yo, you just ain't doing what you do. Like, the reality of that is I wasn't appreciating every last time you organized that closet. It was literally just something that it was happening. And so now I'm putting these expectations on you, like, well, you need to organize this closet. Like, what are you doing here? Like, but no, I need to step back and first appreciate that you were doing this and that you were taking your time and doing this. Like, this is something that you wanted to do, and it's something that also helps me, so it was mutually beneficial. Now, you might have decided I no longer want to organize this closet. It's not for me to say, well, you just ain't making me happy now.
You ain't pulling your weight.
Yeah, like I'm busting.
And to that, I think it's like, wanting people to fill voids that we have.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, all right, you know, I don't feel the best when you might not feel the best about something, and every time you don't feel good, this person may make you a favorite meal or do whatever, you know, to make you feel better. And so all the time you looking for someone to fill that void. Like, I need someone who got a quick fix to make me feel better, you know, instead of loving on myself.
But you know, you said that made me think, like, with that conversation I had with him, it was going back to like drawing the picture of like, this is what she gets for doing X, Y, Z. Now she understand where I'm coming from. So it's like what you were just saying. Now you can feel my pain and you understand where I'm coming from, but yet you still in the same space, and you want to get out of that space. So trying to help him get out of that space is, I ain't gonna say it's challenging, but not trying to I don't want to come across as trying to tell him what to do, you know. But I also want to just be able to drop a gem for him, and hopefully he can take it. And the whole conversation, I was quiet. I want to listen. I don't want to be over talking. I just want to listen to what you got to say, and then I open up and say, hey, you know, maybe, you know, try this, or maybe if you know. So I think that's one of the things that I had a hard part trying to do, was like give advice, because understanding him and the type of person that he is, it's hard to give advice and not come across as like, I'm telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I just, you know, want to give you a little bug in your ear.
So I had a friend, and they were posting a little funny stuff, like something. Basically, I knew something was going on the way they were posting on social media, and so I said, you know, what's going on? You know, how you doing? What's going on, or whatever? And they were like, yeah, me and my girl is in the, you know, the worst space we ever been.
Right.
And basically my advice to him was, just be the best version of yourself. And what I meant by that was, pour more love into yourself. Just be the best you can be. You know, the best version of yourself that you can be. And that instantly made things better. Because it's not, because a lot of times in a romantic relationship, when we having you know, we're pointing like, okay, I need you to fix this before I'm alright with this, you know. But it's really like, okay, let me be the best me I can be first, and then let's approach the table.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
well, that's the expectation I set on myself. Like, every day, my expectation I put on myself is be better than what I was yesterday. So, you know, whatever area in my life I know that I need to maybe, I would say, be better at, or I may want to be better at, then I know, all right, today is going to be better than what it was yesterday. Yesterday was good, but today going to be better.
I like that.
So, and then y'all have any expectations y'all set on yourself?
Yeah, I guess kind of similar to what you said, you know, just be the best version of myself. But, you know, I set that expectation on myself, but I give myself a lot of grace on it too, you know. I'll be honest. I'll say something, and I don't really hold myself too strict to those words, because I want to give myself like the freedom to, you know, if I need to branch off, I'm gonna branch off.
Okay.
So I think that's one of them. But like, I challenge myself. Lately I've been challenging myself to like actively listen, and I think I've expressed that to y'all before. Like, I want to be very present in every moment, instead of just having something like, oh, you know, that just happened. I want to actually be there, hear the words that you're saying, and like actually take them in, like let the words have the meaning that they have. So I guess that's like the biggest expectation I have of myself, to proactively listen.
Okay, that's pretty good, man.
I think my expectation of myself after having this conversation would be to remove expectations. And you know, because when we have expectations, we putting all this pressure on things, and you know, we instantly judging things if it's not our, you know, expectation of it. So basically, I would say I want to work on removing expectations from things and letting things flow and letting the universe do what it do.
I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so. Setting expectations is not a bad thing. I don't think. Yeah, I think it's a bad thing.
No.
I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think there's been times in my life where I set an expectation and it pushes me towards my overall goal. So I guess from that aspect, yeah. But also on the flip side, it's tough because I often see expectations as also as judgment. So it's like we often do episodes about removing judgment and like practicing removing judgment, but here I am putting like the ultimate judgment on myself. So it's always like a catch-22 for me, honestly.
Something I just thought about though, just thinking about the word expectations. Like in life, we can have these things we want, and we already have an idea of how we expect to get it. Instead of and then when we do that and we have an expectation of this is the path to how I'm gonna get it, we take away all the possibilities for all these other things to happen. You know what I mean? So, like wanting something and then being able to remove the expectations of it opens up way more possibilities of how that thing can happen. So yeah, I'm getting rid of expectations.
I like that.
Yeah, this was a great topic, Steven, and talking about it made me, like, just in this moment, made me think about expectations differently, very differently, and now more of my focus is on removing expectations from things in life, and not putting the pressure on it to happen this exact way, and you know, so yeah, cool. Made me think about expectations totally different.
Yeah, that has been a big thing in my life. Because for most of my life, I've been everything has to be done the way I want it done, how I want it done, when I want it done. You know, I need every I dotted, every T crossed. There was not a wiggle room. Like, you needed to march like this. And I was uptight.
Wow.
Very uptight. True enough, it seemed like things would get done. And that was the only way I knew how to get things done in my life, is you got to get, like I'm a master of getting things done. Because I have a strict guideline. This is the way it's going to go down, or whatever. And so learning to release those expectations was really challenging for me. Really challenging for me. And I can't say that I've released them 100%. But what I can say is that my life has totally changed. Like, everything is so much more fun. Things still happen, but they don't happen in the way that I say for them to happen. And they happen, things that I would have never planned. Things that I would have never planned to happen. And that's by me letting go of the reins and letting go of the expectations that I have of myself and that I have of other people. And so it's like, I want you to march, boom, boom, boom. I want you to do boom, 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 and then just being able to give that up, that allows me to laugh so much more easily. And I didn't realize how closely connected that is to judgment, because I think when people weren't doing things the way I said, or the way I wanted them to do it, or the way I thought it should be done, then it was like, what's wrong with them?
Why they can't just listen?
They can't follow simple instruction.
Just do what I say.
Yeah. He didn't even got to think. Is there a problem? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Releasing expectations.
Yeah. So, and you're right. Like, well, expectations show up in every relationship, I think. But you're right. Like, that's where it's so big. Is in romantic relationships or whatever. But it shows up so big in romantic relationships because those are relationships that reflect you back to you the most clearly.
That's true.
And you can really see where your deficits are. So I just want to reiterate what everybody has already said about making sure you have your own power, that you're taking responsibility for your own happiness, for your own joy. When you're looking outside for someone else to do something, you already barking up the wrong tree. You're going to be disappointed as sooner or later. And the best thing to do is to fill your own voids. Love, and usually it's just going to fall back down to loving yourself for real. Loving yourself, feeling worthy within yourself, hyping yourself up. Yeah, so everything you want from somebody else, you can give it to yourself. And I know some people would be like, well, then what I need you for? But when you have two people who love themselves come together, oh man, that's magic.
I love how we started with talking about expectations of others and then broke the word all the way down and brought it right back to ourselves. Yeah, so that was good. I get it.
Y'all pretty good at what y'all do.
Well, thank you. Thank you for this topic, Stephen.
Thanks, Stephen.
Not a problem.
And thank you guys for joining us. And we look forward to talking to you again soon. Until then, this is Arvette.
This is Steven.
Right.
Teron.
Bye.